Wives of the prophets in Islam. Wives of the prophets in Islam. Wives of the prophets in Islam. Wives of the prophets in Islam.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen amma ba'd fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim Assalatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah Assalatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Noorallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, we welcome you once again in another episode of our program Wives of the Prophets. Insha'Allah today we will talk about the honorable wife of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, whose name was Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha. She rahmatullahi alayha was very honorable and very pious individual, very pious lady, whose mention has also been made in the Holy Quran and in the Fasir of the Quran, which insha'Allah we will cover as we go along in our today's episode. But before that, let's first of all listen to a virtue of sending peace and salutations upon the noble Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam. In a blessed hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam has stated, "Decorate your gatherings by reciting salat upon me. Your recitation of salat upon me will be noor for you, will be light for you on the day of judgment." Subhanallah. Dear viewers of Madani Channel, how many gatherings do we hold on daily basis, on weekly basis? So we should ensure that we follow this very hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which we've been encouraged to recite durood before we start any gathering of ours. This would insha'Allah be a means of noor for you on the day of judgment. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Our topic of the day is Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha, the honorable wife of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Who was Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha? She was the daughter of Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam. The Prophet of Allah, Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam, was the father of Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha. So, Sayyiduna Shu'aib alayhi salam, he was the father-in-law of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam. And Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha was so chaste, she was so modest, that her modesty has even been mentioned in the Holy Quran. Subhanallah. This is the greatness of Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha, that her modesty has even been mentioned in the Holy Quran. This account of Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam of migrating from Egypt and marrying Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha has been mentioned in Surah Qasas, in the 20th para of the Holy Quran, in Surah Qasas. And in the light of tafasir, in the light of commentaries of these beautiful verses of the Quran, inshallah, we will talk about this entire account in our today's episode. Now, dear viewers of Madani Channel, we know that Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam was in Egypt, and Pharaoh, Fir'aun, he was after Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. And now Pharaoh had issued the instructions to martyr Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. Now the people of Pharaoh, they left in search of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam everywhere. And in the midst of all this, one person who was referred to as the mu'min of Ali Fir'aun, the believer of the Ali Fir'aun, he came running to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam and said that, "O Musa, indeed Pharaoh and his courtiers in his court, they are consulting about you that they would martyr you. So be quick in leaving this city. Be quick in migrating from Egypt. Indeed, I am from your well-wishers." Now, when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam came to know about the entire situation, then he alayhi salam intended to migrate from Egypt, and he left for Madian. Now, Madian was the city where Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam was residing, and it is situated at a distance of 8 days journey from Egypt. So, if we visualize this entire scenario in the light of those days and how the circumstances around were, You can imagine how difficult this journey would be. 8 days of continuous traveling would make a person reach Madian from Egypt. And another beautiful fact regarding Madian is that it was named after the son of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, whose name was Madian. So this is also something new that we learn, that the city of Madian was named after the son of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Madian was outside the rule of Pharaoh. Pharaoh's rule did not cover the city of Madian. Now, when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam intended to migrate from Egypt to Madian, he had not seen the way to it. He didn't know the way from Egypt to Madian. He didn't have any ride, he didn't have any provisions, he didn't have any companion, he had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. All he had to eat was the leaves of the trees and grass that grew on the floor. That's all that he ate. Other than that, he had no food provisions, nothing to drink whatsoever throughout this journey. Now, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam left for Madian from Egypt, solely relying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, this has been mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Qasas, verse number 22, in these words.
ولما توجه تلقاء مدين قال عسى ربي أن يهديني سواء السبيل.
Translation from Kanzul Iman. And when he turned his attention towards Madian, he said, "It is close that my Lord will show me the straight path." So these are the words, how this has been mentioned in the Holy Quran. And Sayyiduna Imam Jalaluddin Mahalli rahimahullah, he mentions over here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an angel who took Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, who led Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam from Egypt to Madian. You see, to viewers of Madani Channel, that when you solely rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah Almighty creates means from the unseen for the fulfillment of our objectives, of our tasks. Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, you can imagine in what tough circumstances he left Egypt to migrate to Madian. He didn't know the way, he had no provisions whatsoever, but just relying solely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he left for this journey. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not leave him alone, sent an angel who took him from Egypt to Madian. Now, dear viewers of Madani Channel, Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, he arrives in Madian and he goes to a well that was situated right at the edge of the city, at the boundary of the city. Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam saw a group of people who were standing by the well and making their animals drink water from the well. And in the meanwhile, Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam also saw two women standing separate from that group, who were with their animals, waiting for that very group to finish feeding their animals so that they can afterwards take their animals to the well and feed them water, make them drink water from the well as well. Because that well was surrounded by powerful people, quite strong people, so it wasn't possible for women to take their animals in the rush of those very people and make their animals drink water in that very assembly of people, or that very crowd of people. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam saw those two women standing on the side. So he alayhi salatu wasalam asked them that, "Why aren't you feeding your animals from the same well?" To which they replied that, "We cannot make our animals drink water from this well until these people, these shepherds, they don't make their animals drink water, they don't feed their animals from here and leave, because we cannot go in the crowd of men, we cannot go in this rush of men. And when these people normally leave after making their animals drink water from this very well, then whatever water is left over, that very water we give to our animals, we make our animals drink that very water. And since our father is very old now, he cannot perform these tasks, these chores himself, hence we have to fulfill these chores, we have to perform these tasks." When Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam listened to them, he felt very sorry for them, he felt very pity for them. And there was another well nearby, upon which a very heavy rock was placed, which could only be moved by the help of multiple people because it was so heavy and you needed many men to come and lift that rock. But Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam lifted that rock himself, all alone. He didn't need anyone else. He lifted the rock, which normally would require multiple people, 10 people to lift it. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he himself lifted that rock, picked it up, and made those two women have their animals drink the water from that very well. Now the heat was at its peak, and Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam had not eaten anything for many days, and hunger had also dominated him. Now, after making those women having their animals drink water from that well, now Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he sat under the shade of a tree to have some rest. And now he presented a plea in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He made a dua in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is mentioned in the Holy Quran in verse number 24 of Surah Qasas in these words.
فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٌ.
Translation from Kanzul Iman, and submitted, O my Lord, I am in need of that food which you may send down for me. Now Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he presented this plea in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it had been an entire week since he had eaten anything properly. You can imagine 1 week had gone by since Musa alayhi salam had eaten anything properly. Throughout this period of time, this period of 1 week, he alayhi salam had not eaten a single morsel of food, and because of this, his blessed stomach had met his blessed back. This is the state of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam in which he was over here. Now, when both these women, they reached home a bit earlier as compared to other days, then their honorable father asked them, "How come you're back so early today?" Then they replied that we found a pious man, a righteous man by the well. He felt pity upon us, and he made our animals drink water. Upon this, the honorable father, he said to one of his daughters that go and bring that pious man to me. To which that very daughter went to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam whilst having her face covered, whilst hiding her, concealing her body, and with a modest walk she went to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Now this very daughter of this honorable father who went to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam to call him was the elder daughter of Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam, whose name is Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha. Now reaching Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, she said, "Our father is calling you so that he can remunerate you for the work that you've done for us for making our animals drink water." To this, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he did not agree upon being remunerated, upon receiving any wage for what he had done, but he went with her with the intention of beholding Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam and to meet him. And he said to the daughter of Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam, Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha, that walk behind me and keep guiding me the way whilst walking behind me. Now this was the modesty and piety of Musa alayhi salam, and he arranged for Shar'i veil over here, but he alayhi salatu wasalam made Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha walk behind him. Now when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam reached Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam, then the food was ready, and Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam asked Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam that sit down and please eat. Now Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he did not accept this, and he said that I seek refuge in Allah. Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam said that what is the reason that you are not eating food? Are you not hungry? To which Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam replied that I fear in case this food becomes a recompense for what I've done, for the favor or the service I've done by feeding animals, by making them drink water. I fear that in case this very food becomes an exchange, it becomes a recompense for that very work of mine. And we are those people who do not accept a recompense, who do not accept remuneration for our actions. Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam then said that, "Oh young man, this is not the case. This food is not as a recompense of what you have done for the animals or for my daughters. Rather, this is my and my forefathers' habit. This is our custom that we are hospitable and we feed our guests." Listening to this, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he sat down and he ate food. And then after that, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam relayed the entire account, all the events that took place with Pharaoh. All the events from the time of his birth to the killing of the Qibti, to the people of Pharaoh being bloodthirsty for him. All these accounts, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he relayed to Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam. And after this, after listening to all this, Sayyidina Shu'aib alayhi salam said to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam that, "Do not be worried about Pharaoh or the people of Pharaoh. You have now attained salvation from the oppressors, because Madian is outside the rule and kingdom of Pharaoh." So dear viewers of Madani Channel, in today's episode we've covered up to where Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam met the father of Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha, his future father-in-law. In our next episode, inshallah we will carry on our discussion from here, like how he alayhi salatu wasalam was married to Sayyidatuna Safura rahmatullahi alayha, and then what took place after that. So make sure to join us again in our next episode of Wives of the Prophets, and stay tuned into Madani Channel. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Wives of the Prophets in Islam. Wives of the Prophets in Islam. Wives of the Prophets in Islam. Wives of the Prophets in Islam.